truths. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Happy Trudging Thursday. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my fan at the beginning here. After today, this room will have its own fan. Woohoo! Progress. Isn't that what we're going for in life? Progress. Oh. I hope you're having a good day. I'll be working with others. Good morning, Angel. It's good to see you. Where's my coffee? Where's the coffee? All right, there it is. Whew. Whew. Oh. I gotta stop fighting. I always feel this need to fucking fight. What is it with me? What is it? What am I doing? Ah. Hi, Heather. She says, greetings from the shores of Lake Michigan. And quit bragging. No, I hope you enjoy it. I really do. Hi, Heather. Good to see you. We're going to be in the big book today, working with others. And am I just old and closed-minded or something? You know, will these newfangled ways really work? Is it actually have? See, I don't really know. I don't know that I know. Yeah. I think there's a lot of people out there that are trying to help, that are getting caught up with all the other, what I would call bullies on the playground. And it's not cool, man. I don't think it's cool. How can we get around there? Is there a series of questions that I can ask? Because the way it's been working lately is I just confront and then we work it out, and I just did it with somebody, but it's not the right way to do it. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to figure out who's doing the right thing than the way I'm doing it. Right? Shouldn't we always be looking for progress on better ways to do things? Yeah. Instead of making assumptions, because it's kind of what I'm doing when I do that. It's making assumptions. It's not right. Yeah, this is how we have to work through things. It's all right. So there's nothing wrong with being wrong, unless you're kind of going out of your way to do it, if you're willing to make it right. So, all right, let's get to this. God will give me an answer on that. That was me asking God for direction. We're going to get to working with others here. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I bet you've probably figured out that I'm ethanol challenged, or as we call it, an alcoholic. I'm a recovered alcoholic, which just really means I'm not insane anymore. It means I've done the work. I'm not cured of alcoholism. In fact, and if you're here, please say hello. Here's the thing: if we didn't work with others, nobody else would ever get sober. See, if there was a cure to alcoholism, I wouldn't know any of you. I wouldn't have any fellowship. I'd probably still be pretty fucking miserable. Like if they just made it to where I was not an alcoholic anymore, I'd probably be pretty miserable because I wouldn't have people around me anymore. The fact that there is no cure is actually a good thing. in my book, because it means that I have something to strive for. It means that I have something in my life that I can reach for, that I can believe in. Right? Give you something to believe in. Oh, if there's a Lord above, my best friend died a lonely man. This is going to change here. My friend Monty is going to teach me how to get things set up. It's 11:11, by the way, Amber. That I'm going to get things set up here, and I'm going to turn this more into a radio show. So 11 o'clock each day, my live will be turning into a radio show where I will be playing music that I love and that I listen to. And I will take requests and other things like that. It'll still be recovery oriented. That sounds like a lot of fucking fun to me. If I knew the Bible, I thought of a like a nickname or whatever you want to call it. The salty pastor. I don't know the Bible, right? The salty pasture, not pasture, Dion Pastor. Oh, and you got to make it fun too. So I need I need sound effects, and yeah, I think it's just time I go ahead and make that move. I'm clearly not going to be able to find a regular job that's going to suit my needs. Angel, I did get your message this morning. I'm just not quite awake yet. I will answer you though. Heather says part of treatment is connection. Yeah, it is. Part of our recovery is connexion. Let's get started. Chapter 7, working with others. Practical experience shows that nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Angel says, I might be able to help with Bible questions. Cool. I was just saying I wouldn't be able to preach. Like I wouldn't be able to pull stuff out, out of the Bible. Maybe the salty recovery preacher. Now it's just getting too long, right? So nothing will so much ensure immunity from drinking as intensive work with other alcoholics. Yeah. That includes your TikTok reels, your going lives. Well, it depends on your intention. I'm doing 12-step work right now. This live will help somebody, and it's its only intention. That's what it's there for. Somebody will get something out of what I say today. And that's 12-step work. Am I working directly with you? Are we having a conversation? No, not necessarily in that fact. All right. But yeah, if you're having a hard day, call detox. Hey, I'm out here. I want to drink. Can I come there and help somebody? They're probably going to say yes. They're probably going to say yes. If not, get a hold of me. I'll call them. Ask them what the hell their problem is. All right. Go down to your local AA club. There's going to be a newcomer there. Right. Yeah. They're out there. It says it works when other activities fail. Well, it means don't go to the other activities. Go to this. Always double down on God. Always double down on God. Right. It works when other activities fail. This is our 12th suggestion. And 12th suggestion is italicized. That means it's important. Carry this message to other alcoholics. You can help when no one else can. You can secure their confidence when others fail. Remember, they are very ill. Remember, they are very ill. What does that mean? That means we're going to need to understand something in the very beginning. When you go talk to an alcoholic, they're lying to you. They don't know it. You see it. Oh, well, they're not being honest with me. Were you 100% honest when you got in the program? Because bullshit. No, you weren't. You had to learn where you were lying, just like me, because that is an alcoholic brain. That's just it. It's kind of how it works. We work that way. Right? So don't bother with the other activities. Right? Now I'm not going to sit here and say we don't need professionals. Absolutely, we need professionals. Without my therapist, I wouldn't be anywhere near where I'm at. No way. Without some of the good primary care physicians I've had, not all of them. I like the one that I have now. I really like her. She's very good at keeping me accountable. I'll give you. I need to get an MRI on my wrist. Of course, it stopped hurting, so the MRI is not going to do any good. And she's like, "How are you with closed spaces?" I'm like, "Yeah, I need a little bit of help." And she goes, "I'm presuming you're one of those people who would kind of have a higher tolerance." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." She's like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you." She gave me 1 milligrams, right? But I really appreciate what she said after. I don't care what happens. I will not write another one for you for this. I loved it. I loved it. And I told her, I appreciate you saying that. Right? You mean I can't call and tell you they accidentally fell in the sink and down the drain? And I came up with like 3 more stupid excuses and made her laugh. Then I made her my primary care physician. Love it. Love it. It's still sitting there. I didn't go pick it up. Because my brain will want it if it's sitting around here. Nope. Well, now if that had been alcohol, man. Whew. You know, it didn't take much willpower to be like, no, Dion. Well, didn't take much willpower, right? Anyway, it was about being accountable. So, and that we do need professionals that kind of understand, right? But you can help when no one else can. You can secure their confidence when others fail. Well, they're not willing. You're the person that's supposed to make them willing. We can't determine other people's willingness. Well, we shouldn't. We kind of do. It's hard not to do in the program when you're working with people. We have we'll call them hard discussions, but we're not there to determine willingness. But when there's no action and there's no action, there's no action. I mean, you can't really do anything, right? Right. But the way I see it is, and it's this line that we now have in AA that is there anybody here who's willing to sponsor? It's that one right there. It's that. See, the way I see it is this. Somebody came into the room for the first time, and it took every amount of effort. It took everything they had to do that. They're embarrassed. They're shaking. They're disheveled. They're in front of people they don't even know. They raise their hand because we ask, is there anybody here for their first, second, or third meeting? Stop with the 29 days. That's fucking people up. I bet that you don't have newcomers come back to your meeting a lot when you have the 29-day one, by the way. Stick with first, second, or third meeting. It's a little less embarrassing for them. Let's meet them where they're at instead. But then this person raises their hand for the first time and says, my name's so-and-so. I'm an alcoholic. This is my first time doing an AA meeting ever. Then the confusion for them sets in. But we need them to understand on day 2 when they can't even hear anything but the ocean between their ears that they are now supposed to be looking for somebody to sponsor them. That is not how it is described in the big book. And I swear to God, if I go to one more meeting where I hear one person say, nobody's asking me to sponsor them, I'm going to put my foot up their ass. Let's stop teaching this lazy way. It is not how it is explained in the big book. And it is not how it works. The question is, who here needs a sponsor? And then you are to get up off your ass. So why do we even need to ask who here is willing to sponsor? Now we're determining your willingness to. Okay, well, if you're not willing to get up and go over there and talk to that person, you probably shouldn't be a sponsor. Waiting, sitting on your ass. You know what I think of that? I think that you're resting on your laurels when you do that. Nobody's asked me to sponsor them, so I don't. What a lazy way. Make the approach. Make the darn approach. That person is clearly willing. The willingness that I see lacking is the people wanting to go up and talk to other people after the meeting, going up and saying, "Do you need me?" But instead, they want to get in their little fucking cliques and blah 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 and gossip about what's going on instead of surrounding the newcomer, which is what we used to do. AA's kind of gotten bad at that, at least in some of the meetings that I have seen. Or you're not going to get this next part. Life will take on new meaning. Life will take on new meaning. To watch people recover, to see them help others, to watch loneliness vanish, to see a fellowship grow up about you, to have a host of friends. This is an experience you must not miss. We know you will not want to miss it. Frequent contact with newcomers and with each other is a bright spot of our lives. You get this when you start sponsoring. That's when this happens. You might get some of it if you do a 12-step job. Maybe you go detox or maybe you're doing night watch where the phone rings, and even then we don't go out and help people anymore. Now get in your damn cars in twos and go to their house. God's sakes. We can't even drive fucking 20 minutes now to go meet somebody. We got to get past this stuff. Okay. At least let's do Zoom, something where I can see the person, because I need to see how you're moving and what you're doing. I need to see how bad you're shaking. I need to see how yellow your eyes are. I need to see some of these things so I know what to do, because I'm a recovered alcoholic. And in the beginning, the number one thing at that moment is their physical well-being. Number one. Yeah, that's why we need to know. Right? Anyway. But some of these other things are not going to, these promises will not come true if you decide you do not want to sponsor other people. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to, okay. That doesn't mean that just because your sponsees aren't making it that you're a failure. That's not what that means. Are you still sober? Then it worked. All right. So, let's move on. Perhaps you're not acquainted with any drinkers who want to recover. You can easily find some by asking a few doctors, ministers, priests, or hospitals. They will only be too glad to assist you. That's what I do. Heck, Angel and I just last week went and did a CPC meeting, which is something for the professional community. And we talked to the professional community a little bit about it. Every now and then I get a referral, not necessarily a referral in the sense that, it's a client or anything, just somebody, hey, Dion. Every now and again, I have somebody in the professional field reach out to me. Hey, Dion, I need some help with this. I have a friend, I have a brother, I have a sister who's kind of going through this. Can you send me to some good resources? I do it all the time. Sometimes I end up talking to the person that needs the help. Sometimes that happens. But I'm almost always available. Right? Somebody put in a chat I'm in last week. They're like, I tried to call like 17 times and you didn't answer. My phone did not ring. And when you call me, I usually answer, unless it's like after 8 o'clock at night. Then sorry, I have clocked out for the day. I need some of my time. Amber says I had a sponsee ask me to take them through the steps. They watched TV the whole time. Now I do step work over the phone so I don't get a resentment they're not looking at me. That's hilarious. You're nice, because every now and again, if I'm sitting there reading and I see them, I will yell at you. I'll yell. I mean, are you paying attention? Are you writing an email? What are you doing over there? Is that what you're doing? No, we're doing this. If you'd rather do that, I got other things to do. Yeah? No? But I'm a dick in that sense. Attention up here. Eyes are up here. All right? You will respect my authority. we don't all do it the same. All right? So, right? Because in that case, see, and you think that we're sponsoring people for them? You're doing it for you. Yeah. Weird, but it's true. Don't start out as an evangelist or a reformer. Unfortunately, a lot of prejudice exists. See, this is part of my problem. I'm kind of a reformer, but it needs to be reformed at the present moment. But, I'm finding that I'm coming on way too strong. Sometimes I don't realize how overwhelming I can be sometimes to other people. And I got to take that into account too. I worked very hard on being more approachable. Okay. Very hard on being more approachable. So, you'll be handicapped if you arouse it. Ministers and doctors are competent, and you can learn much from them if you wish. But it happens that because of your own drinking experience, you could be uniquely useful to other alcoholics. So cooperate, never criticize. To be helpful is our only aim. The advocate in me is telling them to fuck off right now. But they're not wrong either. It's hard. It is hard to do. How are we going to reach the truth if there's no criticism? That's what Dion needs to figure out. It was a valid question. I wasn't being facetious that time. All right. So these are things that we work through, right? To be helpful is my only aim. But if I need to confront to get to help, I'm gonna do it. I'm kind of weird that way. I'm the kind of person where I will stick my foot out knowing you're going to step on it and be okay with it. If it means that we're going to get to an end result, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I'm trying to figure out a better way to do. It works, though. It separates the people doing the real work from the bullshitters. It does. All right. So, in order to find a sponsee, according to the big book, did it say anywhere, wait till they come to the meetings? No, it didn't say that either, did it? Right. Now, it's harder to do it the way that they're asking in the big book now. I will tell you that. It's harder to do. You might even have to cut through some red tape. You might need to be willing to cut through some red tape to get somebody to help them. I've been trying to get rid of that red tape in Colorado. They keep stringing it back up as soon as I cut through it, though. So I just went and bought a nice pair of scissors. Me. I will always figure out a way, or I will duck under that rope. I'll jump over it. I'll run through it like I just ran a 2-mile run, 5K or whatever there. I don't do runs, so I don't know what increments they come in. All right. So you can find some by asking doctors. When was the last time you heard someone went to a meeting and said, yeah, I told my doctor and let him know. Does your doctor know that you're alcoholic? Probably. But did you let him know you're there to help? Did you let him know that you're there to help? Any professional that I have a chance to talk to, I offer my help. When you discover a prospect for Alcoholics Anonymous, find out all you can about him. If he does not want to stop drinking, don't waste your time trying to persuade him. This is where the willingness comes in. You may spoil later opportunities. This advice is given for the family. Also, they should be patient, realizing they are dealing with a sick person. Sometimes you end up going to help somebody, you end up helping the family. We do that too. Yep, you're aware of the family programs that we have. You know, you're aware of Al-Anon and Alateen. You can send them that way. You can help them find some meetings. You can help them find their books and things like that. Certainly, you are perfectly capable of doing that, right? But in the beginning, if this person doesn't want to stop drinking, don't waste your time. That's up to you, actually, because I'm probably going to spend, another 5-10 minutes with him. How come you don't want to quit drinking? I can ask that question. What? I can. Your family's out here crying. Your children are in despair, and they say it's because you're drinking. Now, I don't want to assume anything, so I'm asking you, what's going on? Is what's going on that you don't see alcohol as the problem here? And then let them talk. They will talk themselves into a circle right into recovery if you let them talk long enough. A lot of times they will. I didn't bring it. I just probably they're out there crying. I'm here. You realize I'm I'm the last house on the block. You know that, right? That means that you've gone through hundreds of people before you got to me. Because I actually am. I'm the last house on the block. Shit's got to be pretty bad when you call me. People don't call me with regular questions. Now Spotsies do, but I get the hard questions. They're not easy, man. They're not easy. So we're going to find out what we can about them. Hey, where'd you go to school? Where'd you grow up at? I don't start with alcohol. Are you silly? No. Where'd you go to school? One of the best questions to ask. Why? Because I'm bringing them back to their childhood. And guess when they started drinking? Most likely in their childhood. Probably in high school. Maybe junior high like me. And some of you. And all of you. Maybe the parents just didn't know yet. I don't want to blow it for you. I started drinking at 13. My grandson's now 14, and I look at him and go, holy shit, Dion, what was wrong with you? What was wrong with you, dude? All right, so I'm going to ask, where'd you go to school? Where'd you grow up at? Yeah? Yeah? You got brothers, sisters? How'd you grow up? Yeah? Now I'm going to get it, because next I'm moving on to family. And what am I going to do? I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do next. The next question out of my mouth is trying to figure out who is close, who this person is closest to. And this is what I have found out. When it is a man, it is usually their mother. If it's not their mother, then it's a sister or an auntie, but it's always a female. When it is a woman, it is usually their father or their uncle, but it is usually a male. That's it. It's just the alcohol. It's how the alcoholic brain works. Most females in recovery when they first get here, prefer hanging out with males, and males usually prefer hanging out with females. It's just kind of seems to work that way. And now I'm gonna make them feel 2 years old again. You want to know the best gift? And I haven't brought up any of their drinking. My drinking was so bad. You want to know the best gift I gave my mommy? That I gave to my favorite uncle, to my auntie, to my kids, because mine were crying outside like that too. Sobriety. Now they no longer have to worry about me. They're worried. They were worried about me bad, that they were going to get that phone call, and then I'm going to lower the boom. Here comes the boom. And I lower my voice, and I go deep. I go deep. Can't get enough of your love. That deep. You want to know the best gift I gave them? Now they're not going to get that phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning that I'm dead in a fucking ditch. And this one hits hard. Or even worse, I'm in jail because I killed somebody's little girl. And I always use little girl because that's the worst of the worst of the worst. and I make it hurt. Now, I'm not pissing them off. I'm talking about me. Does that sound familiar at all to you? Well, I don't really feel like my drinking is hurting other people. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Amber says, I have a brother my mom put up for adoption on my mom's side. Oh, man. And a brother my dad adopted on that side. Wow. It was my father and my uncle. Not surprising. Not surprising. So you find out what you can, right? If there's indication you want to stop, have a good talk with the person most interested, usually his wife. I'm going to talk to them before I talk to somebody else, probably. Because alcoholics get quite suspicious when you talk to their significant other before you have talked to them. They do. I would get suspicious. What are you talking to my wife about? And that's going to be my topic. What were you talking? What were you fucking talking to my wife about? No, you'll answer me. See? It can get heated quickly. So I would not wait unless that is the person that contacted me first. And then I'm going to let them know. This is what we call taking care of rebuttals before they happen. You know your rebuttals, so take care of them in your pitch. The sales technique. The reason I'm here is because your wife called me. She's concerned. That's all I know. I'm taking care of it. All right. So keep in mind what you're dealing with. You treat this person like you would want to be treated. Okay. This is the act of meeting others where they are at. Again, who here is willing to sponsor? Doesn't sound like meeting people where they are at. Not to me. Yeah. Get an idea of his behavior, his problems, his background, the seriousness of his condition, and his religious leanings. You need this information to put yourself in his place to see how you would like him to approach you if the tables were turned. Ask. Now, when this book was written, people didn't know what AA was about. Now, when you talk to somebody, oh, you're AA, that's a religious program. They've already got it between TV and movies and everything else. It's out there, and most people know about Alcoholics Anonymous. Not all. So we can't make that assumption. So you can even ask. This is how I approach it. Now, AA is a spiritual program. I am not here to sell you religion. I don't know it. But I do need to ask you a question. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer here. There's just your answer, okay? Just yours. How do you feel about God? And then shut your fucking mouth. Shut your mouth. Let them talk. Again, they are going to bring back around recovery. They will come around on this one. I'm only asking you so I know how to help you. Again, I am meeting them where they are at. If they want to know what it's like for me, I'm willing to talk about it, but not until they ask questions. Well, what's it like for you? Now if they start questioning your questions, yeah, you kind of wrap it up. Then do the takeaway. Maybe you're not ready yet. Oh, I'm ready. Sometimes it is white, hobba dabba deeba dooba dabba. All right, we'll get this. Angel says, this is a really good one today. Thank you. Thanks, Angel. So sometimes it is wise to wait till he goes on a binge. I was just talking we are done. So he is not my sponsor anyway. I was talking with another closed mouth friend yesterday, and we were talking about somebody they were working with. Right. And we kind of had this conversation. This is the method of kicking a man while he's down with love. It's hard to do. And we're going to stick to facts. We're going to stick to facts. Okay. Now I'm going to say a saying. And I'm going to tell you now, 90% of the people are, oh, that's mean. Oh, that's so mean. You have no idea how much love goes into this. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But you can shove his fucking head in there and make him wish he did. I know it sounds mean, but it's love. It's love. Because it is not weight, it's not doing it, it's knowing when and how to do it. And in this case, we are shoving their head in the water. Didn't I just tell you 2 weeks ago this was going to happen? You didn't want to believe me, did you? But here we are again. Here we are. And are the consequences bad enough for you yet? Because you've only felt a nip of the ringer, okay? And I'm going to tell you what's next for you, okay? You're coming up on what we would call an alcoholic death. The shakes are going to start. The sweats are going to start. You think you feel bad now? Okay, so you got a couple of options here now. We either get you sober, find you some help, or you can continue drinking and go on to an alcoholic death. Do you know what an alcoholic death is? It's asphyxiation by vomit. That's an alcoholic death. An alcoholic death is never, ever, ever, ever pretty. Or you might develop dementia in your mid-50s, in which case what they're going to do is they're going to put you in an assisted living home, and you will spend the rest of your days breaking out of that assisted living home, running to the liquor store. Is that the life you want? Because if so, I will leave you alone. It's a fact. We're sitting here in the hospital again. Here you are, shaking again. Are the consequences bad enough? Family may object to this, but unless he is in danger, he is in a dangerous physical condition, it is better to risk it. Don't deal with him when he is very drunk unless he is ugly and the family needs your help. Wait for the end of a spree or at least a lucid interval. You want to catch him when the guilt hits before the next drink that makes it go away. Yes. When the realization is hitting, because they are no longer drunk. Then let his family or friends ask him if he wants to quit for good and if he would go to any extreme to do so. If he says yes, then his attention should be drawn to you as a person who is recovered. You should just be described as one of a fellowship who, as part of their own recovery, try to help others and will be glad to talk to him if he cares to see you. That is the other portion that we kind of need to talk about, and then I probably need to start wrapping up. Good morning, Clara. Good to see you. And then my mind got a little distracted. Yes. Okay. That your only reason for you being there is to help. You cannot have any other reason for being there in this situation. Now, I've worked detox before, and I had to talk a little different than this. All right, but I was still able to use my experience, and I was able to push the envelope a little bit more than the non-alcoholics, but that's what made me good at my job. But in this case, there can be no other ulterior motives, including a paycheck. And this is what I've been trying to get through to a lot of places around here. I'm like, you're missing an element. You're missing your success rate element, and I know you are. You guys don't see when the detoxes got paid by success rate, they were fantastic. They were great. All right. Now you get paid whether you have a bachelor's degree or not, and that's killing alcoholics because of this portion right here is missing. And I've been trying to get Aurora Mental Health to do something for years. And every 6 months, I have a new executive I have to meet. People are on vacation. Oh, we're going to a conference. Your priorities suck. I was thinking about this the other day. When it comes to East Metro Detox, which is owned by Aurora Mental Health, even though I'm not working there, I'm the only one left. There is nobody there that I know anymore. There's nobody there I know anymore. Working at Detox used to be extremely satisfying for a recovered alcoholic or addict. It did. I remember when I worked at Washington House Detox in the 90s, I used to wake up excited to go to work. That's a lot for Dion. When I worked Detox this time, I dreaded going to work. I failed. I fell on my face. It didn't work for me. Because I wasn't helping anybody. I was at work cutting through red tape most of the time. Most of the time I was arguing with the hospital. No, these aren't detox. No, these are his bipolar meds so I can send him to treatment. What do you mean you won't take them? Help me out here. We don't work in conjunction anymore. Everything's competition. And it's hurting us badly. Anyway, let's do a little bit more wrap up. I'm at 40 minutes here. So if he does not want to see you, never force yourself upon him. Neither should the family hysterically plead with him to do anything, nor should they tell him much about you. They should wait for the end of his next drinking bout. You might place this book where he can see it in the interval. Here, no specific rule can be given. The family must decide these things, but urge them not to be over anxious, for that might spoil matters. And I would certainly recommend Al-Anon and Alateen so that they have a fellowship of people that have gone through that, who are non-alcoholic, that understand a little bit better than we do, right? Because we were, and then we alcoholics get sober, and then we find out that we too might just maybe have codependency issues. Just maybe. I know I got them. Not to the extent, but I can certainly see them in it. Claire says, don't shove it down their throat. Yeah. I found if you stick to your story and not compare, that's the big thing. Don't compare. Let them do the comparing. So I find if you stick with I statements and your story, you will not shove it down their throat. Yeah. Because what if they're like, that fucking Dion, he was such a jerk. I'll never go to AA now. Now I've ruined a chance for this person. Now, do I have control over that? No, I don't. But words do have an effect. Sticks and stones may break my bones, and words do certainly hurt. And they do have an effect. Absolutely, they do. Or we wouldn't even have speech. All right. So thank you for that, Clara. I know, because I know I sound a little feisty. It's passion, my friends. It's passion. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.